Me and my friends are going to discuss about the topic of Gwitch Nation. And today we are tell about how they live, history about the Gwitch Nation, and how they survive in the shelter, everything about the Gwitch. And the things to know about the Gwitching people's homeland. For thousands of years, the Gwitching people have relied on the land of their food, harvesting resources from it such fish, berries, moose, caribou, rabbits, and beavers. And apart from that, I will tell about the seasonal movements. Which families traveled seasonally to different regions where these resources were abundant in order to ensure their survival. Their movements were strongly correlated with the year-round availability of food. And if we talk about the migration, because caribou were so important to the Gwitch in people nutrition, they follow the herds as they traverse vast distance throughout the year. And if we talk about the connectivity and trails, to connect to many locations where resources might be collected, trails were necessary. The pathways played a key role in their way of life and become firmly rooted in the landscape throughout the time. Cultural significance. The name given to the location on the land which give cultural and historical significance of the Gwitch peoples, close connection to the land. This name and pathways are evidence of their rich history and connection to the ancestral.
In Guache Nation, the tribes use land of the drought and lake. They live in the campus and harvesting locals. At the time, animals and people were equal animals and have power of speech and were able to change into human form. In that time, Raven was one character who involved in many events. After reading the story, it shows that there was a great battle between the Guachia and the Nagasai for the land. One character who describes the story of fight between the Kavachia and Eskimos. On the other hand, it also describes the great summer gatherings as well as the celebrations of the flats. Other stories describe the friendship and hospitality. And after coming the newcomers in the Kavachia nation, it increases the trades and school facilities in the nation. Rules and regulations were improved and land settlements can be done after in the tribal council and the agreement who holds the great promises for the future. There was an incident between the raven and other community. When paddling the river, he met with the raven. Raven responses was normal as to the other. They both decided to went on hill, but at the time, Raven felt that the other party planned to kill him, and the raven was right at that time. At top, threw the raven from the hill because he didn't need the help of raven because he made fool of him. It's true that all the animals were not helpful like Raven. He always tried to trick and made fool of people Wolverine. He often destroyed catches and supplies. Bear and some attack on the people, but all animals were not same. Some were full of kindness and friendly, such as Loon. When men and animals were equal at the time of that, it's the day to show that earliest time of the land and the first time when the European explorer arrived at the area mouths had no longer power to speak the animals and the medicines and talk to the animals. The Thai people, as a person who found the place in Gawachia, which in the northern parts of the nation, to change and it knows blue killer hills. It was the dream of the people who climbed to the hill and reached in the dream. He did it. When he was climbing, he met a person who led him in the main door. There he was saying people who gave him food and the player told him to leave and from the other door so that I didn't want to see him. Now at the time he saw a crow sitting to the down there right the show and he came to the crow and he told the well look like you said I have come from a long way. I just paddled down the river so just to see what I came see what can I do. Crow told him go to top of the hill way up here, go to the top of the hill way up there. I'm going to with I want you to look in my head, Tony Andre. Some Gwitch communities have entered into the treaties and land claims agreements with the government of Canada and America. These accords implementation and enforcement issues could pose the questions about sovereignty for Gwitch communities. The creation on the sustainable economics is crucial component of the sovereignty. This may include the projects like tourism, development, culture and preservation and business development. The Gwich, as a representative of the language family, is divided into the eastern as well as the western part, roughly along the borders between the United States of Canada and America. Every village has its own traits, expressions, and the special expressions. Culture customs. The Gwich has historically relied on the sustenance activities such as hunting, fishing, and gathering, and is extremely significant because it provides food, clothes, and materials for the numerous tools. Oral tradition. The Gwich has a rich old oral tradition with generation passing on knowledge, tales, wisdom, and via storytelling, song, and ceremonies. The year was the mode of life is linked to the natural cycles. They migrate with the herds in the seasonal cycle, adjusting the behavior according to the changing seasons. Next is the spirituality. Animism, which spirituality is significantly established in the animism, which holds that all living things, including animal, plants, even the objects, have the spirits or the souls. The spiritual system emphasizes the interdependence of all the animals. The sacred sites. Some people in the which in the land consider these sacred sites frequently regarded as sacred and the cherished. Land as a teacher. Land as a teacher. Land is not just simply a physical area for the which it is also a teacher and a provider. The culture is significantly established in the traditional knowledge about navigation, climate, trends, and wildlife behavior. The Gwich has a deep feeling of responsibility for the land. They believe in environmental friendly methods which ensures that the resources are managed in order to match community and kindship. The significance of community in the Gwich the world cannot be overstated. Sharing the resources, helping on the other and forming the strong social relationship are well important components of the culture. Language as a culture identity, the which in the land. Usage is an important aspect of their culture. It is not only aid communication but also culturally particular concepts, knowledge, and worldviews. These direct methods of knowing and being represent the which in the people's close relationship and their environment, spirituality, tradition, and these elements are important components of their culture, legacy, molding, and nature in the balance. Next, we'll talk about the travel of the Gevechias in the families in the Kailuk region. It is mentioned that not all families in the region own dogs. Those without dogs had to rely on their strength and pulled sleigh to transport these equipments. Mooskins, boats in the traditional type of boat made by the indigenous people using the moose stretched over a wooden frame, and these are used for the transportation and hunting. Families heading to this Thessalonic used a big bang mooskin boats as the primary transport system. Next, we'll talk about the importance of the dogs. They have to move around. Next, we will talk about the importance of the dogs. They had to move around. I don't think they had anything else. As far as I heard, the Guachiag, which it never stayed in one place, the whole family moved around to find something to eat. Whatever they heard about or what they dreamed about, whatever they want to do.
These are some types of structures they use and to adapt to the harsh Arctic environment. The Gwich'in people, indigenous to Alaska and northern Canada, have a rich cultural heritage and a profound connection to the natural world. So, the first structure is Nikan. It is a house made from moss and earth, and the other another is Nan Khan. So a ground house that partially buried in the ground. The design provides insulation and stability. And in the summer months, the Gwich'in use the uh, Ardzi Niva. So it's a tent made from tanned caribou hide and it is very portable. In contrast, during the winter, they utilized uh, the Dizo Niva. So it is a winter lounge made from carbio skin with the hair on the outside. So this design ensures warmth and insulation. And for short overnight stays while traveling, the Gwich'in employ the Zeng. So it is mm, a lean-to made from spruce spores or willow branches. Its thick side offer a cozy respite. Lastly, let's talk about Adhi Khang. It is a spruce bark smokehouse used for drying the fish, which is essential for food preservation in the Arctic.
This practice extended just the edible parts. Women's role. Much of the work involved in processing and using these resources were responsibility of women. Their knowledge and the skills and the vital animals part into the tools as well as the shelters. Bones were crucial raw materials. They were split, sharpened to create the scalpels for removing the flesh from the animal skins. Bones were used for making the knives, needles, and the shoulder blades for the moose served as both a shovel tool for mimicking the moose call. Here, I would like to wind up all my presentation. Me and my teammates presented the Gavacha nation, their different type of culture as well as their spiritual and their relationship with the land as well as their animals. Thank you.